Ready?
Yes, you're on live.
We all have that one friend that we know is a very reckless driver and can be a danger on the road. I've got one who is totaled two cars and he's not even 18 yet. And so that's why we come to the conclusion that travel by air can be a lot safer than that of riding in a vehicle. And to explain the dangers of cars, we have texting, maps, working the maps, and then the people in the car. So imagine you've got your little siblings in the car and they're having a big fight in the back seat. Well, that obviously distracts the driver and keeps their focus off the road. Moreover, many still think that driving is still safe than flying. However, according to the National Transportation Department and Federal Highway Transportations, there has been, in the state of Tennessee, over 1,100 car fatalities, while only 350 national fatalities from flying. And so as we move on to the specific dangers of driving, we have the obvious phones. Phones are a very big distraction when it comes to driving and are the cause for a lot of accidents. As you can see here, we've got a poster from the National Highway Department of Transportation that obviously displays that driving can be very dangerous and distracting the driver is not a good idea whatsoever. The U.S. Department again states distracted driving is dangerous, claiming 2,841 lives in 2018 alone. Among those killed, 1,730 drivers, 605 passengers, 400 pedestrians, and 77 bicyclists. That's over 1,100 deaths right there, not even related to the person in charge of the vehicle. And we've all had the situation where we are going down the road and the person to our left just isn't paying attention, or the car in front of us loses control. I mean, it's just simple things like this that can add up to the dangers of driving and cause us to wreck. For example, we were in the spring of 2017, me and a buddy and his family were all headed to the beach, and we're all going down the interstate doing 75, doing 80, whatever, and the tractor trailer in front of us slammed on his brakes all of a sudden, and so everybody around us starts panicking, and luckily he was attentive at the wheel and seen this coming and was able to avoid the crisis. But there's always the dangers of not knowing what's going to happen and what could happen. And then we've got the physical characteristics that make driving very dangerous as well. We've got the weather, such as rain and snow, that is very distraught in how a person handles the wheel. And going around these back roads around here, I know they are very slick and wet sometimes and can cause a lot of wrecks. However, the dangers of flying are also still something that should be very important to the person flying. There is the obvious health risk right now, and with the coronavirus going around, flying has been one of the number one ways that this virus is transported from country to country, state to state, or even town to town. Here, the U.S. National Institutes of Health says that in 2014 alone, over 3.3 billion passengers, a number equivalent to almost 42% of the world population, and 50 million metric tons of cargo travel from air from 41,000 airports and 50,000 routes worldwide. That 41,000 airports, all of those have planes that carry their passengers and can be biological transports to carrying diseases throughout wherever they go. And then we have the conclusion that overall driving is a very dangerous state, and that taking the proper precautions can help this. However, but flying is still yet one of the most safest ways for us to travel. And to weigh it overall, flying is still the safer option. How long?